All right, everybody, how's it going? It is February 6th, 2019, and it is sort of a sad day because this is really like the end of the NFL season. There's nothing more until free agency kicks off, and then there's the draft, and then organized team activities, then training camp, then the preseason, then the season. But we kind of have a stopgap this year, thank God, till we get to like May anyway, because we have the AAF or Alliance of American Football starting up this Saturday on February 9th. And well, we have a video to go over about what is the AAF. We're going to cover the brief history of the league, what the rules are, what some of the business side, and I believe some of like the key people and like how to watch it, what media, and just random things like that. So we'll be going over the broad side of it. This is going to be sort of a narrow video. In the next video about the AAF that I'll be doing, which is going to be tomorrow, it'll have the rosters and the teams, and then the video on Friday I'll have the schedule out and the picks. So I'll be covering this in depth, so please subscribe to the channel if you want if you want up-to-date AAF news. And I'll be live reacting to the debut of the AAF and all that fun stuff. I'm excited. It's a stopgap to get us to the pretty much the beginning of the baseball season and a little bit into it when it picks up in May. So, we got a 10-week season, 10 more weeks of football with teams we're not really sure of. We're not really sure who we're going to like, but with players we know of, because a lot of these guys are guys who didn't make it in the NFL, didn't get drafted out of college, maybe just never went to like a big school, so they fizzled out. Well, now we have a sort of second chance league to get into the NFL, which is what I think this AAF is going to wind up being. So let's jump into this PowerPoint. What is the AAF, or Alliance of American Football? A brief history and explanation of the new American Football League, set to kick off February 9th, 2019. A history of the league. I'll basically just read this as best as I can. It is a league founded by Charlie Ebersol and Bill Polian, former general manager of the Colts. It is set to commence. We already talked about that. It's going to be the week after the Super Bowl, so this Saturday. The AAF consists of 8 centrally owned and operated teams. All but one are located in cities on or south. All but one are located in cities in the South, and all but one is in metropolitan areas that have at least one major professional sports franchise. I believe that is the team that's in Alabama. It's in like Birmingham, Alabama, and there's no pro sports teams in Alabama. So we have like major sports, major pro sports franchise in Alabama. So that's that. So there's going to be 8 teams in it, and they're pretty much all Southern teams. The league was announced on March 20th, 2018 by filmmaker Charlie Ebersol. The AAF will be overseen by former NFL general manager Bill Polian, former Pittsburgh Steelers safety Troy Polamalu, and executive J.K. McKay. Advisors also include former Steelers wide receiver Hines Ward, former New York Giants and Oakland Raiders defensive end Justin Tuck, and Dick Ebersol, the father of Charlie Ebersol. On April 7, 2018, the first team, Orlando, was announced with its coach Steve Spurrier. By June 2018, the league had announced its 8 inaugural teams and their cities. We'll be going over that in the next video. Sorry about that. We'll have those in another time. Actually, I think they might be here. I'm not too sure. Nope, they're not. Okay. Okay, so this is just some more history. On July 30th, 2018, the Alliance announced the league had signed 100 players. In August of the same year, the league held the Alliance Scouting Combine at 3 locations and 4 dates: August 4th in Los Angeles, August 18th in Houston, and August 25th through the 26th in Atlanta. By August 24th, 2018, 205 players were signed, and each player signed a 3-year contract worth $250,000, pretty righteous bucks, with performance-based and fan interaction incentives with performance-based and fan interaction incentives allowing players to earn more money. So basically, if you do better and do well with like social media, I would assume you have good media presence, you'll get more money. It's one of those types of things. In July of 2018, Starter through G3 Sports was named the official on-field apparel and game day uniform supplier for the AAF, making a return for the brand to professional football. So the brand Starter is going to be the on-field and game day uniform suppliers. So starters back into the professional football business. On September 20th, the league announced the league announced 4 Eastern inaugural franchises. Sorry guys, I can't read because it's very far away from. I'm like a good distance from the screen and I'm pretty nearsighted. So give me a second. It gets blurry. The league announced 4 Eastern inaugural franchises, names, and logos. The 4 Western teams were revealed 5 days later. You can pretty much read this. On October 16th, the Alliance announced its schedule, which has 2 games on Saturday and one on Sunday most weekends. Oh, no, never mind. I misread that again. Which has 2 games on Saturday and on Sunday most weekends. So there's going to be 4 games a weekend because there's only 8 teams. Each team, plays against each other or whatever. So basically, what we can gather through this page was that the league has 205 players, each of them signed $250,000 contracts with performance-based and fan interaction incentives, allowing them to earn more. On July 2018, Starter became the official sponsor of the league for uniforms and apparel. On September 20th, the league announced the 4 Western team names, and or for the East. Sorry, on September 20th, the Eastern team inaugural franchise names and logos were announced, and the Western did the same 5 days later. On October 16th, 2018, the Alliance announced its schedule, which has 2 games on Saturday and on Sunday most weekends. Sorry I had to repeat that because I tarted it out, but you can pretty much read it on there, and that's pretty boring stuff. Final bits of league history, then we'll go on to the rules, I believe. Quarterback skill training camps were held at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio on November 12th through 14th. On November 27th, the league held a 4-round protector pick quarterback draft in the esports arena at Luxor, Las Vegas, and broadcast on CBS Network. So they broadcasted their interesting quarterback draft, which we'll be going over in the rosters and teams edition when I explain to you how the teams pick their quarterback. It was basically they have 8 teams and they're all in pretty much their own little mini region, and the quarterbacks that were available in the draft were all region locked to where they went to college. So basically, say you had I'm going to use an example because I know a guy, there's a team in Orlando. Say Tim Tebow wanted to join the AAF, he would have been region locked to that Orlando team, and the Orlando franchise could have either protected and kept Tim Tebow, or pick a different quarterback from a different region that's not protected. It's very complicated, and once I have it in front of me, I'll explain it better. But it's basically based on that. Quarterbacks are region picked. You can pick a different one if it's unlocked, or you can protect your own and just move on. It's almost like a secret Santa service. It's a very odd football process, but we'll be going over that in a different edition. The league plans to begin its inaugural 10-week season on February 9th, 2019. The 4-team playoff is to be capped with the league championship game at Sam Boyd Stadium in Las Vegas, planned for the weekend of April 26th to the 28th. If the AAF survives to reach its second season, it will find itself in direct competition with the revived XFL, which is announced to begin play in 2020. So basically what we can take away from this little paragraph here is it's going to be a 10-week season starting this Saturday. It's going to be 4 teams that make the playoffs, so half the teams in. So it's going to be a quick playoffs, two championship games and a final, and then we'll be moving on to baseball and no football. But that'll be look at that, April 26th to the 28th, about right in time for the draft. So that'll be fun. It'll fill that weird gap of who cares about free agency unless you're really into football. I am, but all right, here are the rules. This is going to be fun. Every league has their own rules, but this is going to be all right. Teams will have 52 players on each roster, with some selected by a territorial draft. The territory assigned to a team consists of at least 5 colleges plus. Oh, okay. This is basically kind of how the territorial draft goes. The territory assigned to a team consists of at least 5 colleges plus designated professional teams, 1 Canadian Football League, and 4 NFL teams. For those from the Big 10 and the Big 12 conferences. Oh, okay. Only 1 quarterback can be taken from the region. A quarterbacks-only protector pick draft was conducted in November, in which teams may retain their allocated quarterback or select an unprotected quarterback from another team. Telecasts will feature no television timeouts and 60% fewer commercials, with the league aiming for an approximate real-time game length of 150 minutes, down from over 180 in the NFL. All teams must attempt two-point conversions after each touchdown. There will be no extra point kicks. There will be no kickoffs, halves, odd overtime periods, and after scores will begin on each team's own 25-yard line, the same as touchbacks in the NFL and NCAA. In lieu of an onside kick, a team can keep possession of a ball by attempting a scrimmage play from their own 35-yard line and gaining at least 12 yards. So basically, they're eliminating kicks. There's no kicking in the game. I think there will be punting. It has not said anything about punts, so that will probably still be a part of it. But in lieu of an onside kick, this is interesting. A team can keep possession of the ball by attempting a scrimmage play from their own 35-yard line and gaining at least 12 yards. I imagine if you fail, the other team gets the ball at that spot, which would be pretty brutal to field position to have to defend. So it's a very risky proposal. Hard to get 12 yards on a single play. But, yeah, it's possible. That's interesting. That should make for some fun. The play clock will run for only 30 seconds, 10 seconds shorter than in the NFL. 2 coaches challenge per team are the only replays. No challenges in the last 2 minutes of either half nor any overtime period. They are automatic. Outside organizations will handle head safety protocols, which is smart. Playoffs will consist of 4 teams, the top 2 teams from each conference. Yeah, because they only have 10 teams. Can't really have that many things. Or that many teams. I guess you could do 3, but then it's just like, that's too much. Let's see. Boring business side. Not going to read that first one because who cares? I'll read the bottom one. The league is also planning player bonuses and scholarships. Player bonus is to be based on performance and fan interaction, and players would earn a year's scholarship in post-secondary education, so another year of college or just something like that, for each season of play. So you sign a 3-year contract, they're going to give you 3 years of extra schooling on their dime. So that's a very good extra incentive. Say you play your 3 years out and no one wants you to come back. Maybe it's time to just go put that money that you earned in your pocket, live on that, and then go back to school for free because you earned and played it. Very good thing to have. Players are expected to get 3-year, non-guaranteed contracts worth $250,000 plus health insurance with an escape clause to go to the NFL. The 3-year contract is believed to be purposely targeting the XFL to prevent second-tier professional players from signing with the XFL if they play in the AAF in 2019. So basically saying it's basically stopping guys from just playing 1 year in this league and then going to the new league in the next year. It's a pretty good little thing for the fans, in addition to a fantasy league built into mobile broadcast. So this league will have fantasy football built into its own mobile broadcasting. So while you're watching, it'll be updating the fantasy league. Low ticket prices. Each team will have a $35 a game sideline seat option. Very good pricing if you want to watch professional football and you're in one of the cities. And inexpensive food are planned, so that's good. Key people, the head honchos of the league. Like I said, this is only going to be a what is this league, not what's inside of the league. That's the next video, which will be tomorrow. You're going to get the team names, the cities, and probably the rosters all in one video, like who's on each team, the coach, the city. That'll be a lot better video. It'll be a lot more fun. It'll be fun to make fun of all the guys who didn't make it to the NFL. But anyway, the key people, head honchos, executives, Charlie Ebersol, co-founder and CEO. Bill Polian, the other founder and head of football. He's just the head of a football. I don't understand that. That's a mean insult. Troy Polamalu, head of player relations. J.K. McKay, head of football operations. Tom Veet, head of business operations. Hines Ward, player relations executive. Jared Allen, you guys remember big Jared Allen from Minnesota, player relations executive and investor. And Justin Tuck, member of Player Engagement's Board of Advisors. Well, that's a big title. Board of directors include Charlie Ebersol and Keith Rabois, or Rabuis. I don't know how he says it. It's probably Bois. Last but not least, media or how to watch. As part of its formation, the AAF announced broadcast deals with CBS Sports opening day, consisting of consisting of two regionally televised matches, and the championship game will both air on CBS, while CBS Sports Network will air at least one game per week. In addition to local stations, TNT will broadcast two games per season, one regular season and a playoff game, while NFL Network airs two weekly games respectively. The league's mobile app will offer live streaming of all games and as well as provide integrated fantasy games, while Turner's BR Live will stream one game a week. So that's pretty good. There's going to be a lot of ways to watch these games. They're going to have built-in fantasy. The NFL Network's going to show some, showing this league is actually kind of a second chance league at the NFL. The NFL is helping it out by showing the games on its networks. So that's nice of the NFL to do that. The game of the week will be called by Ben Holden, Adam Archuleta, and John Schriffen. So I don't know who the hell those guys are. You should tune into my live reactions to certain games. It'll be a lot more fun. All my sources are from Wikipedia, just literally Wikipedia AAF. I just condensed it all for you, so you don't have to find it, and you didn't have to do all the copying. You didn't have to read through all of it. I kind of read it. You could kind of read the condensed version there, or you can go on Wikipedia and read the full version there. It's up to you. Now you know basically what the AAF or Alliance of American Football is. We'll be having the teams and the rosters and the players on the teams and rosters, cities, coaches, all that fun stuff will be in tomorrow's video. I hope you tune into that. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel if you want to know more about the AAF. Like this video if you liked the video. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this new league, what your expectations are, what your hopes for the league are. And I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I'm very good about commenting back on videos and on comments. Yeah, I think that's it. So that's the AAF. I hope you guys are excited as I am for at least a stopgap, a bridge to the draft, so we don't have to lose our mind too hard over no football. So at least there's something, right? Thanks so much for listening. Have a great rest of your day. Peace out.